Gentlemen, it is Tuesday. Welcome to Tuesday at Two Lines Slot Car. So running a little late tonight. Hopefully everyone is having a great time in the chat. I haven't had a chance to look at it, see what's going on, but you've had an extra hour to chat. So there's already 76 comments out there. So we're running a little late tonight because my dad is in the hospital. And Dusty may have already shared some of that in the chat, but he's not doing great. And he's in ICU and having some breathing issues and problems and a lot of fluid around his heart, lungs. And so we're just kind of hoping that the medicine kicks in and clears him up so they can go in and do a heart cath tomorrow. And maybe we'll find out what's really going on. So I appreciate the sentiments and the prayers, and thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Don't want to be a downer, but it's tough. It's tough to see your dad lay in a hospital bed with a bunch of stuff hooked up to him, but we appreciate the thoughts. You really find out how great this community is when people start sending you messages and when they find out. So I really appreciate that. So what do we have to talk about tonight? Well, Slot R sent me a message to make sure that we talked about the Scalextrics releases. Dave's probably in bed. He should be in bed. Hopefully he didn't wait till 9 o'clock to jump in. But yeah, I haven't even looked at what Scalextrics announced today or what everybody's talking about. Mainly because they haven't really released anything that I'm super interested in. I have a Scalextrics Honda Civic that was a gift that I love. I have a Scalextrics VW bus that was a gift from my daughter and her husband, and I love the bus. And I have this car that has been a tuning challenge, but I love this car. I love the livery, the Miss Levi livery. It's a great looking Scalextrics. Outside of that, I don't get too excited about what they're announcing, and everybody's making a big deal about the New York cab. So I'm going to try to catch up with the chat. And I just thought I'd throw that out there so you guys could talk about it. But I'm not going to walk through. I will walk through some releases that happened today, but they're not Scalextric releases. They're another company that we tend to love on this channel, and that Slot R and John Albright lead the club on this brand. So they released some new liveries today, which is pretty cool. But hey, John Tucci, hey, Daryl, Eric Tucker, Steve, Sweeney, Chris Fredder is in the house. Flavor Art Race Team, Sean, you thought you were late. You're not late, man. Let's see. I see Dusty's in here. Dave Patterson, good day, sir. Hopefully things out in Washington are good for you. Daryl, DeFingers the legend. That's right. Daryl, you have to sing that next time we get to race. Hey, Greg. I see Clearwater's in the house. I see Gina's in the house. DeFingers, Mr. Albright. Hey, I'll catch up quick here. Jeff G. If I miss somebody, I apologize. It's not on purpose. Yeah, us old guys got to go to bed, me included. We probably won't go too crazy late tonight. Yeah, sorry, Greg. I've been sitting at the hospital with my brother and sister, hanging out with my dad. So that's why we're a little late tonight. I apologize. But good to have you guys. Who else am I missing? Hey, Robert. Good to have you. Thanks. Let's see. Hey, Danny. Good to have you. Thanks. Marty did a nice job on the Camaro. Oh, thanks, Gina. Here's the Camaro. It's getting boxed up tonight after the live stream. I got it all polished up. There's not many decals that go on this car. This is a tribute car. I think I've told the story before. The driver's name's Jake Dyke, and Dusty and I found out this week that this car still exists, and that is so awesome. And I completely repainted it, and I put the clear coat on it, and it is screwed up again, but I don't care. I'm sending it in anyway. It's a dirt track car. That paint sucked on that car anyway. It had to, right? They got a new paint job every week. So, but thanks, Gina. I appreciate that. I like it. It's no, it's not my new starting time. Just tonight. I like the 8:00 start. I don't try not to keep people up too late, and it's still at 8:00 start is still tough on all my friends in the UK that jump in and other places. So, hey, Robert Lee, welcome. Hey, Kirby. Hey, I appreciate that. Thanks, man. Clint, appreciate it. Burn Dog, that means a lot. Bob, hey, Bob. Bob, we need to figure out how to meet up. Either Dusty and I need to come up your way. Or you guys need to come down and race on the track with us sometime. So we'll make that happen. But thanks for jumping in. Hey, Tad. Honda Civic, that's right. Hey, Slot Car Legends of Champions. I like saying that. That's a good one. Even the GTI and the Beetle. I don't have a scaly Beetle. But the Beetle was the one, I think. Okay, the GTI. That's pretty cool. I liked that and the Beetle. I honestly haven't really looked at all of them. I saw one picture of the Beetle, and I'm like, that looks pretty good. So that might be one. But honestly, I've got a whole list of cars. Guys, I'll be honest with you. I got a whole list of cars that I would like to pick up. Daryl and I were talking about this last night, maybe. The night before, I can't remember. My days are running together. It's Tuesday, right? And we were talking about, like, there's so many great choices out there that it's getting really difficult to make a decision. But tonight, actually, I plan to place an order for a couple of cars. And then I think I've got a couple that I want to pick up since he slots if we make it on Thursday. Racing on Thursday really is going to depend on how Dad's doing, to be honest. So we'll just kind of play it by ear. But hey, Fred, welcome. John Mark, good to have you, bro. Why is everybody... Patrick, what's up? Thanks, man. I don't understand why it keeps resizing this and moving it. Okay. Patrick, thanks, man. Patrick, really appreciated the emails back and forth this past weekend. I really appreciate all the energy and effort you are putting in to accommodate me. So I appreciate it, man. But the software is great. I love what you're doing. So I'm super excited about it. And we need to bring you on. So I don't know what next week looks like for you, Patrick, but if you are free next Tuesday, I was going to send you an email today, and the day got away from me. I apologize. Then you can maybe go through the software with us. I think there's a lot of guys that would like to take a peek, like I got to take a peek. So if you're up for that, send me a message. Let me know. I'd love to make it happen. Let's see. Who else do we have? Hey, Daniel. Thanks. Again, everyone, I really appreciate it. Hey, Slot Car Daddy. The kind words it really means a lot. Hey, Slot Journal. Hey, Steve. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope things are good down in Kentucky. Yeah, Bob, let's make it happen. I need to start putting some dates on the calendar. I would like to host a race, but you've heard me talk about it here before on the live stream that there's just not a lot of room down here. If I if I knew that I was going to stick with this 4-lane layout, I would cut the table up a little bit and move some things around just to make it fit the room a little better and give us a little bit more, room to stretch out. But I've changed my layout like 5 times, major changes 5 times since I got into the hobby. So I don't know if I'm set on anything enough to do that. But it would be nice to have a little bit more room. So if I had like 8 or 10 guys show up, it wouldn't feel like we were on top of each other around the track. I mean, there's other room in the basement to accommodate those type of people, that number of people. I mean, I could probably accommodate 15 or 20 with pit space. It's just there's not a ton of room around the track. But I do have my lap counting and power working, so that's kind of a plus. Yeah, Curvy, I am going to send it. I am sending it. It looks great. But the paint's not perfect. And I was really shooting for like the modeling aspect. I think the car's got a great story. And now that we know that it's still alive, that is even better. It's in a garage not far from us, so maybe we'll yeah, Steve, I hope so too. Thanks. Hey, Mad P. Hey, Gary. Good to have you. I want Garth's AMC Pacer from Wayne's World. There you go. So we'll jump right in. I'm not going to go through the Scalextrics, although I could. I really want to go through the Revo slots that got announced. Hey, thanks, Vin. Appreciate it. Hey, DJ Patrick. MR slot car, Lola Shadow, 89 plus. So you picked up the Shadow. Patrick, you will not be disappointed. That is a great, great car. Amen. Amen. Hey, Cody, welcome. If I'm saying that right, if it's Code, that's even a cooler name. So I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. No one will notice the wrinkles at speed. Thanks, John. I appreciate that. Danny is back. Welcome back, Danny. So let's Clearwater is in the house. David Dog, did I miss somebody? Oh, Devil Dog. Hey, from Turnberry. Awesome. Welcome. We're just getting ready to talk about one of our favorite brands of the channel, and that will be the Revo slots. Oh my gosh. So my brother has the Marlboro version of this 911 GT1 car, and it's always been really good. And he gave it to me to let my son-in-law borrow when we went racing the week before Christmas. And we went to Cincy Slots, had a blast, had a wonderful time. But Dusty left that car, and I was doing some laps with it, and I just noticed that it was just a little hard to handle. And you know how it is when you have a car that you've put a bunch of laps in. If there's something not right, you learn to compensate while you're driving for that car. So if it's super tail happy, you learn to drive it to the best of its ability at its tuning level. And I got to thinking, like, it's been a long time since we've tuned that car. We've learned a lot thanks to Daryl and Butch and Greg and Josh and all kinds of people here, John Albright and George, Area 51. I mean, they've really taught us a lot about tuning cars and gave us a lot of pointers. And I thought, I'm going to open this car up and take a look at it. And I opened it up, and Dusty had probably, I don't know, he had some weight in it. The car was pretty heavy. And I noticed that it was just not getting down the straightaway. It got around the turns really good, but it just wasn't getting down the straightaway fast enough. And I was like, man, do I need to look at gearing or, what's up? And so I decided I'm going to cut the weight in half and see what happens. And the car actually got better through the turns. and picked up a ton of straight line speed. And to the point where when I gave it back to him, I'm like, hey, man, I don't think Kellen gets to drive this. I think you want to drive this car because it may be one of your quickest cars now. Super easy to tune. This is a good car. So I don't know. What do you guys think of these new liveries? That was a long story to get to. Let's talk about Revo slots. But like, what do you think of these? Hey, Joseph. Thanks, man. Man, I appreciate that. Hey, Rob. Rob, I was watching a video that you put out not too long ago. It may be your last video of the tuning of your top 10 in this last proxy, the GT proxy. And I learned a lot just going through those cars. Great video. So I recommend it, guys. If you've not followed Rob, he's CGY Racer, which is, I'm guessing, short for Calgary Racer, maybe. But Rob has a great track. Oh, I love the wood layout, man. It's so good. But then you broke down those cars, and it was just really cool to see how all these people, how different each tuning was. And so I appreciate you stepping through that. I think I watched it last night before I went to sleep. It was really, really good. So hey, I appreciate you being here. But hey, Anthony, welcome. So yeah, back to the Revo slots. Hey, Jamie, what's going on? Welcome. So the Revo slots. Do you like any of these liveries? I'm trying to remember the last liveries that were released of this. Man, I think this is good. The silver, the two silver ones are very similar. But I really like the white and blue. Let me see if I've got them in individuals. I'm going to shout out to Dahi at DNA. He sent these pictures out. I really like this livery. I know, Daryl, it's a white car, but it's got enough green and blue on it that it shouldn't steer you away. Just ordered the MR Slot Car EVO GT1. Joseph says, let me get over here. What's going on? There we go. I used to be from Calgary, yes. Okay. Thanks, Rob. I kind of figured that's what it was short for, but I knew you're in British Columbia, so that was what was throwing me. I wasn't sure if it stood for something else. So, Joseph, you just ordered the MR Slot Car Evo GT1 in the Jägermeister, of course. Wish Revo would come out with Oink in that livery. Yeah, that would be really cool. I'm guessing, I mean, this isn't the last of these GT1s we're going to see. This is a great-looking car. It performs really well. From what I can see, I'm going to love Revo slots when I get my hands on some. Burn Dog, yes, you are. You will. Hey, Tom, welcome. Glad to have you. Hey, Cyberg. Yeah. So yeah, I really like this livery. Let's see what other liveries we have. Another Warsteiner Castrol. So yeah, that's sharp. Now that I look at it up close, I might like that even better. That's a really, really good. Daryl. Yeah, I like that car. Whoop. Hang on, I lost it. There we are. So when did that start working? Oops. There we go. And then new C5s. So that's the so what is this livery? I can't see it well enough to know what it is. It looks very similar. And then we've got new C5s coming. So this one, the Dale Earnhardt driven car, is going to be super, super popular. But I will tell you that guys seem to be having problems at Cincy Slots getting this car to really be good. Like, it's okay, but it's not like awesome. And so I feel like it still needs some work. Let's see here. Default. So those are the Revo slots that were released or announced. So we've got some great looking cars coming. That's super exciting. The problem is, man, I want every one of them, right? We all know how well these Revo slots are made. It gets tough. So ran the Ferrari 333 with sponge tires last week at Scale Racing, and wow, was it smooth. So Dave, I have it must be in my pit box. I have a 333 SP. It was my first Revo slot I purchased. Love the car. The ones I'm excited about, let me go find it. The Revos that I'm super excited about are these Revos. Well, maybe. Hang on. 1/32. Cars, Revo slots. I'm super excited about well, dang it. No, I can't find them. Oh, I bet they're in the new arrivals. New arrivals. Revo slot. Maybe. The Toyotas, the new Toyota liveries that they're releasing, the club cars, I am totally digging those. This must still be pre-orders. Pre-order. Revo slots. I thought those started shipping. Yeah, here they are. Let's go back to the web. So it's these I really, really like. Okay, we all know we're all excited about the Datsuns. We just don't know when those are going to ship. Do they have a date when they think? Yeah, no date. But look at these Revo Toyota club cars. Lots of great colors to choose from. And then you've got that murdered out black one that George had to tease me with. He sent me a picture. His came in yesterday. So it's really, really cool that those are. I would love any of those beautiful liveries I used to collect the Fly versions many years ago. You're talking about the GT ones? Yeah. I have the Swap Shop Fly in that GT1. It is awful, but I got it tuned up and it's running pretty good now. But when I first got it, man, that thing was... Whew. Daryl shipped it to me and said, cut your teeth on tuning that thing. Daryl says he needs to build more cars for this month's races. Daryl, I think you're at about 15 cars prepped and ready for the Trans Am racing. I think you're in good shape, man. MR Slot Car Martini GT1 will be here tomorrow. Nice. That's a good choice. John Albright. Excellent choice. Let's see. I have an old Arton GT1 in the silver and red livery, one of my first cars in a set. That's cool, Slot Journal. That's very cool. John Albright, did you see my new Revo GT1? So did Revo buy stock in white and silver paint factory? Daryl. That's funny. That is really funny. The sponge tires made a huge difference. So Dave, did they spray the track down with glue? Is that why the sponge tires worked so well? Just curious. The black 100 comes tomorrow for me. Jeff G. Jealous. Nice. That's a great choice. Really, really liked it. 510s estimated at 131. Thanks, John. That's so close. So we're racing Group 2 Revo slots at Cincy Slots the month of February. And right now, the only one that I own is this one. And I've been getting some laps in here and there, and something exciting happened the other day. If you can't tell, Pamela reached out to me and said, "Hey, I'm sending you a T-shirt. Thanks." And I think it had to do with the Christmas song, the 12 Days of Christmas. And then in there was a set of the new Revo 1503 RS tires from Super Tire for the Group 2 Revos. So I'm going to do some testing. Right now, I have Quick Slicks on, and they've been performing pretty well. But some of the other research I've done really pick up a little bit with the compound that Super Tires is using. So those tires will probably go on later tonight, maybe this weekend. We'll see. Just depends on how the night goes. I need to pack up the Camaro and get that ready to ship out tomorrow. But yeah, so Group 2 Revos. So I'd really like a second car, and I've been holding off because I really wanted the Datsun. And so that's cool that John, maybe those pre-orders will hit around the first week of February, and maybe I might get to race with it a couple weeks by the time I get it done. It looks like a stealth bomber. Steve, I would agree. I think it looks nice. The black one is really nice. Gary, I second that. Jason, hey gang, guys, does a Carrera chip fit in the Revo, and do they work good in digital racing? So Jason, the standard Revos already have the hole, not the Group 2s, but a standard Revo slot. Of course, I don't have mine. Mine are in my pit box because that's what the last time I raced at Cincy Slots. So they already are pre-drilled for the diode to stick down through the LED to do your lane changing and lap counting for digital. So yes, very easy. Go out there. Slot R has a couple of videos of putting chips in Revo slots and shows you how easy it is. So yeah, do not be afraid to do that. I think they would make great digital race cars because they handle, and you can kind of overdrive them a little bit just because of their weight. And getting into the pit lane is typically the problem with most faster slot cars, and when you're running no magnets. So that would be the only thing that you'll run into. But I would recommend it. I've been wanting to chip these and use these as our digital cars. I think that would be a fun digital class because they're not super fast, but man, they're racy. All this Revo talk has my wallet itching. I agree. Yeah, Curvy, don't forget about coffee. Yeah. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate that. Yeah. My buddy at Roast, he's been great for the channel. So we want to make sure we support him. I support him enough for all of us, actually. I buy a lot of coffee there. It's good stuff. I thought I pre-ordered the black Toyota. For some reason, it didn't go through. I don't know if you noticed, I brought the LEB up, and they were still available for pre-order, Dusty. I'd like to see a 124 scale Revo slot car League of Champions. Those are called BRM. It's pretty much what BRM is 124 scale Revo slots. They just don't do all of the same liveries. They do different cars. They do Group C cars. They do some vintage cars, and you've got some different choices. But that's what those are. No, just on his wood, you can't compete with rubber against sponge. Okay. So Dave, no glue. Gotcha. We have a friend named Ross that has a wood track that he uses glue and uses sponge on the Revo slots. And I guess it sticks really, really good until it doesn't. And so he was explaining to me that he thinks it's easier to drive cars on his track because of the glue. But I've not experienced a track with glue on it. So, did I miss Kirby's answer? Yeah, real easy and very good in digital. Yeah, I agree. Super easy to chip a Revo slot. I've had a chip in my 333 for just a short period of time just to play with on the track. Yeah, Dusty, those are called BRMs. Yeah, I would say that the black. Hello, Mr. Darius. Welcome, man. Glad you're here. Question: what size quick slicks for the Revo do you remember? Steve, gosh. I don't remember what those are. Daryl, do you remember what those are? The number? Somebody might have already answered that question. Off the top of my head, I cannot remember what the quick slick number was. But the super tire number is 1503. 1503. Got them right here. And I like them. I like them a lot. So those will go on my car, and I'll be ready to race. The NSR ASV, Steve, I would say is the same wheel as any of the other GT cars. So I would say the AMG is probably the same as the ASV. It's probably the same as probably the Corvette. And I don't know if I still have that around. I don't remember what number that Corvette was. So I would just go off the chart from there. I recently installed an axle box, and it's working out well thus far for analog digital, same track. Yeah, nice. The axle box is great. Joseph, who's in the chat here, he does the tech slot boxes, and those are awesome as well, and really, really cool stuff to be able to do both analog and digital. I mean, it really is a game changer. So after 5 chips purchased, I decided to try the axle box. Yeah, it's probably a good move. You can drop a bunch of money really quick. You're welcome. Track with glue sounds like cheating. Well, I mean, everybody gets to take advantage of it, Kirby. So all my Revos work great in digital. They work great in and out of the pit lane. Nice. Eric, good to know. Eric, your T-shirt is on its way. Your T-shirts are on their way, by the way. Just wanted to drop that little note to you. Finally got the replacements in, and those are getting shipped out. So I apologize. They should have been out long before now, but yeah, Dad in the hospital has kind of messed up my schedule, and that's okay. But it's on its way. Hey, grandson, man, welcome. Let's see here. They are a whole different animal compared to Carrera. Yeah, Clearwater, I would say that they are digitally. They are a whole Revo tires 1501 and 1502s. Yeah, it's super tire. Let's see here. Hey, Scott. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here. I switched up my pit lane, have some finishing touches to do. Should make getting in and out the pit easier and not violent. Nice. Yeah, Kirby, yeah, you got to be careful where you put your pit lane. I will tell you that Dave Slaughter's chicane changeover to the pit lane it's fantastic. I mean, you can come in hot with that, and it'll hang in that lane. So it's pretty amazing. So yeah, he did a great job. Nice. I'm good to get your track up, man. That'll be good. I'm excited for you. Daryl, the RS145F quick slicks for Group 2 cars, Steve. There you go. You can't wait to wear it. Yes. Support me at Electric Dreams. Yeah, I'm not on their radar, man. Marco has no idea who I am. And Dusty, he's got a 3D printer on the way, so we may have to play around with some fly car chassis, printing them our own chassis. I have a BRM Camaro black, and I still struggle to get the lap times down. Is it the flat black Camaro? Because that thing looks awesome. The BRM, really, really cool. Hey, Johnny Pro. Is the slot invasion guy in here? I've not seen Oscar, but sometimes he doesn't. He's just in here listening. I actually am making a list. I need to order a bunch of guides from Oscar. I really like the slot invasion guides on Carrera track, and they seem to do pretty good on the wood tracks, the wood track that we've been to. I can't really complain. They really seem to do well. Dusty, what are you going to do with your 3D printer? I'm not sure he knows, but we're going to print some stuff for sure. Probably a bunch of little toys and trinkets like the snakes and the dragons and Blue Water Slot Car Racing. John, they are $25. So, and I would tell you that the order wasn't that big, so my there really not a profit margin on them. To be honest with you, they're right there about the cost. So, but it's okay. It's all good, man. So if you would like to order one, let's see. I think I killed the order form. But maybe it's still available. Let me go out and look. Hold on. I don't have a ton of sizes. I've got some large. I've got some extra large. I have a few medium. Somebody needs a smaller size. So let's see. Dusty got the Ender V3 SE. Another one of your hobbies, Bob, 3D printing. So yeah, $25, John, if you're interested, and let me know what size, and I'll see if I've got it. So don't send me any money until I know I've got your size. But I've got a few 2Xs, a handful of XLs, and a handful of large, and like 4 medium. But I don't know too many of us that could fit into a medium. Let's see. There have been some improving pit lane entries recently. Dave Slaughter has an excellent video on this. Yeah, Clearwater, he does. His video is great. Scale Racing and BRM are partners in the BRM Camaros and Mustangs. That's cool. I need some guides for Carrera cars in the mid-2000s. So that the mid-2000 cars have Johnny Pro, they have a different guide. I don't have any older ones, so I'm not familiar what it would take. I can accommodate you with a large. So I'm going to put my email out here. John, if you want to send me an email. You can send me an email, and I can tell you how you can send me money, and I'll ship that out tomorrow. If you send me where I need to send it to. Dusty, if you make any car bodies, I need a 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner. Ender is a good choice for first printer. You can do a lot with them. A little learning curve, but solid choice. There we go. Awesome. Surge, has anyone tried the Franken slots? I just ordered some. Surge, yes. I don't think I have. I may have one car that has them. I have. They are good. They are very similar to Slot Invasion. They feel like they're out of the same material and shaped very similarly. So yeah, good stuff. But Oscar is a big friend of the channel, and so we really support Slot Invasion. But yeah, I'm not going to tell you what to do. But we like Oscar. He is an awesome supporter of Two Lions and the hobby in general. And so are the Frankenslot people. I've got one of the Frankenslot wireless controllers, and I've got a couple of other things. Great products. I can print resin bodies also if anyone's interested. Mad P, there you go. Mad P, resin body. Oh, man. Maybe I can see if I can get you to print me a Maverick body. 1970 Maverick, 71, 72. I'm joking. I've been trying to buy a model kit off of eBay, and I think the Mavericks are very hard to get, and they go for stupid money. Mammoth petite shirt for me. Daryl, I've got yours. Yours is coming on Thursday. I'm hand delivering yours. If Dusty and I if we get to make it down. That's our goal, but we'll see. FDM, cool. That's a good printer. Chassis, scenery, signs, right on. If you need any help. That's awesome. Thanks, man. We probably will, because neither of us have messed with a 3D printer. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around that we can actually do that in 2024. Scott, he loves the 3D print. I've been the Eligo Neptune 3 or 4 Max. There's so many choices out there, and honestly, for your first printer, you just never know. So hopefully we get it. Awesome. Thanks, John. Marty, is that email for the shirts? Yeah, you can send me an email to Gary. Send me and let me know what sizes, and then I'll reply with a way for you to pay me. So I appreciate that. You're the best, Mad P. I just need a Pinto for NASCAR modified. That's a Pinto would be awesome. Pinto hatchback. You guys, I should put out a picture. Bruce from Cincy Slots has the nicest Pinto I've ever seen. It's nicer than Pintos coming off the factory floor. Dusty's actually seen it in person. I've seen pictures. It is a sweet car if you like Pintos. BRM flat black, and it's awesome. Handful to drive. Yeah, Greg, that's one of their best looking models, and that flat black, it looks awesome. They're hard to find too. You can't really find them. Yeah, Daniel uses the Frankenslot guides there in the UK. That's cool. Steve, what does the shirt show? Really, Steve? Hang on. Do I have one? I don't have one down here. They're all up there. They're in the back of my car. The email again. The T5 guy at gmail.com. Let's see. Yeah, the colors, the colors weren't perfect when they came back. They were a little more burgundy, maroon than bright red. So I was a little disappointed in that. But sometimes it's hard to tell. When it went on the black shirt, it really darkened the red. So, hey, Raul. What's up, man? Good to have you. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining. Let's see. I want the white Ferrari Countach off Miami Vice. Isn't that a release from Skillectrics? The white Countach? Yeah, I'm thinking so. So, yeah. Let's see. I was looking for a picture of the shirt, of the design. And let me see if I've got one. I think I have one on my phone. I know I have posted it someplace. Yeah, it's pretty close to, here it is. We'll see if this will work. So there's what the shirt looks like. It's a black shirt. So, yeah. So that's it. And it's got my logo on like a 30s pinup girl sitting on the Miss Levi car. So the guys at the local T-shirt place, they came up with that design, and Jared, the artist that converted the car over to like line art, actually posted it on his Instagram account. He's doing artwork each day for the whole year, and so he's like, 9 days in, and day 3 or 4 was the artwork for my T-shirt. So I thought that was pretty cool that he used that. So yeah, Raul was in the house. Dusty needs a Cobra 2 body. That's great. I talked to Kevin at RTS, and his pit box will be out very soon, maybe next week. Yeah, that's cool. No Vega. So I have a story about a Vega, and I'll tell it before Dusty can tell it. Our driveway was at the edge of a little hill, just this slight slope when we were kids. Now there's Dad's garage is there, but we had an old Pinto wagon, silver with wood panel, and it did not run anymore. And it was parked at the edge of that with its tires on some like timbers, when it was a gravel driveway. And I was like 14 years old, and my mom in the winter, she would tell me to go out and start her car. And I went out and started her car, and her car was a 5-speed. And I must have thought I had it in neutral. And I hit the key, and it lurched forward and bumped the Vega. And it was a frosty, like snowy morning. And it might as well have been on like a runner sled, because it eased down over the hill, slid down the hill, and like a bowling ball hit our shed. And when the weather was nice, Dad and I were out there with hammers, like hammering out the dent. And it was one of those little steel backyard metal sheds that you got from Sears and Roebuck in a kit, and you had to put it together. And the Vega took out half of it, put this big, huge dent in it. And so forever, I am the person in the family that wrecked the Vega. My wife had to make comment about the shirt design. Yeah, I didn't design the shirt. My buddies did. They thought it would be fun to put that on there. My apologies to any of the wives that are upset. But they put my logo helmet, if you up here in this right here, they put that helmet on her, and they thought it was hilarious. And so, and I thought it should stay. I'm like, that's cool. That's really cool. So yeah, I thought we were safe with a 30s pinup. Cosworth Vega might be cool. Yeah, that might be cool actually. Although if they would have put the small block in the Vega as intended, it might have been a decent car. John, I will tell you, there's a lot of Vegas that live on forever at the drag strip with big blocks in them and small block V8s in them. They are very popular with the bracket racing, and still today you still see a lot of them, which is crazy. Dusty, this is so funny. We're bringing back some memories. I bet if we told that story at the hospital room, that might have gotten a laugh out of Dad. He didn't laugh at when it happened, but Dusty got a new bicycle out of it, so he got a Mongoose BMX bike out of it, so it's all good, man. But I did destroy his bicycle. You printer guys are awesome. Gremlins weren't even cool as modifieds. That's funny. The Gremlin. Yeah, but they came with you could get a Gremlin with a pretty big motor, right? I mean, yeah, DeFingers, it's quite the story. And you could just see it was slow motion. I was like, no. And the Vega just barely bumped it, the front bumper, and it went backwards down the hill, picking up speed on the wet, slick grass with frost. And by the time it got to the bottom, I mean, even like the emergency brake was on. So the only reason that it slid down the hill is because it was so, like, the frost was so thick. And man, you could just hear that noise. Boom. And I looked up left out of the window, and there were my neighbors with their eyes. Like, what just happened? I was like, oh, man, I did not know what to do. I was like 13 or 14 years old. Thought it was cool stuff going out, and it was a Buick Skyhawk T-Type. It's a turbo 4-cylinder car my mom had that they bought kind of on a whim. She needed a new car. The Vega had quit and died, and the salesman sold her cheap at the Buick dealership, and that car was fast. It was crazy fast for a little 4-cylinder. It just there was a wagon with a factory 260 V8, the Vega. Don't race the Pinto in digital mode. If other bump into you, the Pinto explode. It'll catch fire. Great stuff you're producing. Who would have thought? The Gremlin X was a runner. I'm feeling like the single malt Scotch tonight. A little tipsy. There you go. My neighbor had a mustard color Vega. Yeah, they had some weird colors. Definitely some weird colors. Too funny. So what are you guys racing? What is your club racing this week? I'm tuned up, I think, as best I can, because we're racing the modified Trans Am. So I've got the Scaly with the CG slots, and then I've got my my Mustang, my Thunderslot Mustang, and I think that Bruce should have probably outlawed these. Because there's a lot of guys racing because they can get these to go faster than most of them can get these to go. And so there you have it. So that's kind of what we're racing this week or this month. Next month, we go to Group 2 Revos, and I believe 1/32 scale digital GT maybe. And so I even got John Mark's Mustang. It's ready to roll. So what are you guys racing? What are you tuning on right now for your clubs if you're getting ready to race? Rob, I was going to ask you, are you planning to do another proxy? I don't know that I'm tuning well enough to send a car to you for a proxy race, but I'm really fascinated by watching the proxy races. They're a lot of fun. So my first proxy is going to be this in the home racing world proxy. So I'm excited about seeing how there's no pressure in that one, I guess. So I'm good. But yeah, the last several weeks we have. I'm not sure what that was an answer to, if it was my question. Races Group C, Vintage F1, NASCAR, Fly Classic. So we are doing a Fly Classic in March. So we're doing two analog classes that month instead of a digital and analog, because everybody's wanting to run a Fly Classic class, and they're wanting to run NSR GT class, GT3. And so I'm going to pick up a second car, but this is my NSR GT car, and I'm really close. I'm running 5 flat with it on this. I'd like to see it get under. Actually, I run a 4.9 on my layout with that NSR. So I'm really looking forward to that class. That will be fun. That will be a fast class. Now, what I have prepped for the Fly classes, let me catch up with the no comparison on the Mustang versus a CUDA. Yeah, Dave, It's just the chassis. The Thunder Slot chassis is really, really good on the Mustang. John Marks needs a number. I've got his numbers right here, Daryl. It will be number 66. So I'll get that this week. This week, Steve is racing Carrera Sportsman Le Mans Classic 3 GT. Cool. Hey, Don, welcome. Hey, Moondoggy and Ron. There's a Can-Am proxy coming up if interested. Oh, so where would I, Rob, where would I find the rules and the information on that proxy? Plus, it would be fun to see how well a car I tuned. And I love Can-Am cars, so it's one of my favorite classes. So if there's a website I can go to, it would be great. Or maybe I also asked, I think posted on one of your videos, it looks like you're running a custom XAML file for Race Coordinator. I really like the layout of yours, where it's all in one window and not multiple windows open. The only thing I would want to add is I got to figure out how to write my own XAML file. I want to add track records for that race on each lane. Lapmaster does that, and I really like that feature. And it looks like you can do that in Race Coordinator. And I know Patrick was working on something maybe in Fast Laps as well. So, made showing 43 likes here. I like that car, Marty. I'm going to get me one. The Jägermeister, yeah, it's sweet. You need to find a club in Ann Arbor area. I think a few toward Detroit. So, Cody, you've got, if you're near Detroit, you are close to Cloverleaf. They have a great group of guys that race, and I don't know what night it is. Maybe it's Thursday nights. They came down and raced with us, and they were fast. So I don't know what kind of drive that is for you, but let's see here. Funny story, Marty. Great memories. Yeah, Greg. Yeah. Oh, it's famous. Oh, so it is out there on the Home Racing World Forum for rules. I will go check it out. Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it. I don't think I'm going to make any of the races this month. Yeah. That's why I didn't put the numbers on it yet. Michelle threw another 6 on the end of Daryl's. Michelle, Daryl has got a lot of cars tuned, ready to go. He's on it. At least two cars ready. You have the Dan Gurney Cuda. Patrick has a good-looking car. I love it. And the Sam Posey Challenger. Nice. Yeah, man. It would be awesome to put a race together where we got a lot of people here on the YouTube channel to get together to race. Man, Professor Motor is down the street from me. I think they are an indoor setup. I need to visit. Maybe Club Info. That's cool. We will start. So yeah, Professor Motor. I order some parts and stuff from them, and they are always fast to get them shipped out to me. So I appreciate that. Good group there, Professor Motor. Yeah, Cloverleaf, Mike Stout, and he is sometimes in this chat every once in a while. But I know that Kurt, I think he's on here every once in a while too, is the one who maybe runs the club night and is really like, I think they've got a good thing going. Maybe 20 guys coming to their club, which is pretty cool. We will start the vintage and monoposto polycar next month. That is one of the classes in March that we're doing, Dave, is you can either run the Fly Classic or the polycar together. And then whoever runs what will have places based on, what class they're running. I'll email you the XML file for Race Coordinator. I see your email here. You like Yeah, I like your race results too. That's a great screen. That I figured it was because I couldn't find it in the race coordinator. Rob, I appreciate that. Thanks so much. That's awesome. I meant throw. Dan corrected. 666 is fitting. That's hilarious. Give Daryl a hard time. That's funny. And I know what he has. Believe me, I have to look at them every day. That is so great. Daryl, you are in trouble. She is, you're not fooling her. Michelle is got you figured out. Wednesday nights. Thanks, Kurt. I didn't want to tell him the wrong night. I'm glad you jumped on. 2 classes each week. Doors open at 3, racing at 7. So there you go, Cody. That's Kurt is your man at Cloverleaf. If that's not far of a drive, look it up. Great looking track. I hope to make it up there at some point, just to hang out at the shop and maybe hang out to watch some of the Michigan 24 race. Although they do that, I think, at Mike's house, his track at his house, not at the shop. But yeah, thanks, Kurt. I appreciate you jumping on. I didn't know if you were on tonight or not. Glad to have you. Hope things are well up north. You guys didn't get a bunch of snow, did you? So good stuff. I'm going back to Michelle's. I know what he has, believe me. I have to look at them every day. That is just fantastic. Between 20 and 30 guys, and we run on 2 tracks. Awesome. Kurt, maybe so it's on Wednesday nights. So maybe Dusty and John Mark and I will bring some guys up and come race one night for club night this winter. That would be fun. We just have to figure out what classes you're running. That would be a lot of fun. We'll let you know if we can make that happen sometime. Jamie says, I'm going to make it to Cincy this week. Yes. Did a motor swap in Camaro and didn't check the new motor. Of course, it was bad. So I just swapped it back with the original 25K Predator. There you go. And a Capri Digital 124. There you go. That's it. It's Group 5 this month, right? So good stuff. I like hearing what other people are racing at their clubs. It sounds like a lot of people are settling on similar classes. The GT3s from NSR, the Group 2s from Revos, a lot of Revo slot classes we've read over the last couple of weeks. The modified Trans Am, I'll tell you, I love racing the modified Trans Ams. I just they're a little top heavy, and you just have to deal with that. But they look great on the track. So Scott's in for Michigan. There you go. Man, that's awesome. They're at 40 minutes from you. Fantastic. See, we were able to make that connection right here in this community. That gets me excited. You will have to let us know how it goes. And I will tell you that, they just go and have fun. Kurt is the man. He's fast and smooth on the track. And I'm sure that if you've got some car issues, he'll help you figure it out, what you need for the track. And a bunch of good guys up there. So 1972 Ford Maverick Grabber in the print queue. Mad P, you have made my day. Send me an email, and we'll do an exchange. I'll take care of you. We'll get you a 2 Lines T-shirt and whatever else you need. Let me know how much I owe you. But that's awesome. Yes, you guys have to come up. We're going to do 6 or 8 hour enduro. Ooh, gosh. Now, Kurt, you drove next to me. I'm not that good. 6 to 8 hour enduro up on which track? The club track or the Michigan 24 track? Garth. Hey, Garth. Hello from Michigan. Good to have you, man. Thanks for tuning in. we're kind of late tonight. The only way I get some attention around here is by gluing some rubber tires. Oh, Michelle, that's so funny. Did Daryl put you up to that? I'll see if I can find a Pinto. John Albright. Hey, Greg. You know we're up there a lot too. Let me know if you go, Marty. Greg, I was planning to plan it around one of your trips up there. I'll just be honest with you, because I know that you guys go up there every once in a while. So if we can make that all work out, that would be great. We could all carpool. We're running Group 2 Revos on the new track. It's a riot. I bet it is. Yeah, you have to give me some of your tuning secrets, Kurt. How do you get your Group 2 car fast? I bet it's a blast. And the GT Revos on the big track just show up. All right. And that's for this month, for the month of February. Will you be running those, or how long will you be running those classes? That's awesome. Eric, that's great. Mad P, can you crush the driver's side in on it? Yeah, my Maverick had a big dent on the driver's door, across the door. Some lady sideswiped me, and I drove it. I never fixed it, which doesn't make sense, Dusty. Now that I think back, why didn't I just pop that dent out and get the door working again instead of climb across the passenger side? Some of the things I did as a kid, it doesn't make any sense to me. There are things that I do now that don't make any sense to me as well. That'll cost extra. Don't worry, I can paint it on, Dusty. No 71 Maverick had floorboards to fingers. That's how they came from the factory. Rusted out. Racing my 124 cars with 132nd Chevelle. The Chevelle is winning. Oh, yeah, no doubt. The 132nd scale cars will always beat up on the 124, those kind of 124 cars. Now the big wood track wing cars, then they won't keep up with that. You think the Enduro, I think, would be on the club track store. That's cool. Yeah, well, I'm sure you guys will reach out to Butch, and see. So maybe Butch can put a team together, and some of us other guys can put a team together. Come up, I work on a lot of cars every week. We just started, and we run for 8 weeks. Oh, that's cool. So then you get a lot of time to keep improving your car week after week. That's cool. I mean, that's why Bruce does, a month at a time, so that you don't have to spend, tune a car for every week. You can tune one for 4 weeks and race with it. So that's a great idea. Well done, Kurt. The fingers. My 51 Plymouth Plaza wagon had plywood floorboards. I had a stop sign in mine. I got the Frankenslot wireless for Career Digital. Love it so far. Caveman, I knew you would, man. That's a great digital wireless controller. So here's a cool thing. One of the things Dusty discovered is there is out on one of the 3D printed sites, there you can print a trigger controller, and you can take a Carrera plunger controller, take the insides of that, put it in that 3D printed, and convert it to a trigger. And that is an inexpensive way to get a trigger style Carrera digital controller. I think that's a brilliant idea, and I'm sure that once we get the 3D printer up and running and figured out, that's one of the things that we were going to do. Is we have 2 True Speed controllers, thanks to our buddy John Mark, because he doesn't like plunger controllers. He likes trigger controllers. So we have 2 of those for digital, and then the rest are plunger style. So that's awesome. Blue Water, I raced there last week. Kurt, great guy. I'm a beginner, and the guys had great patience. Man, that's awesome. I love to hear people go to a club and have a great experience, especially when they're beginners and first times, because it can be super intimidating. I know it was for us, and the guys at Cincy made it super easy. And that's great to hear. Thanks, John. Thanks for sharing that story. Just show up Ann Arbor. If you don't have cars, I'll let you run one of mine. Man, that's good. Good dude. Yep. The old plywood. That's right. James, I just got into this hobby. So much to learn. James, welcome, to the hobby. Yes, I'm always learning. You're at a great place if you want to learn. Sometimes it feels like this chat, this live stream, we're all over the place. We end up talking about a lot of different things, but I will tell you that most of it happens in the live chat. There's so much getting accomplished there. When I don't get much accomplished, everybody's doing good work in there. So if you have questions, don't think twice about throwing them out there in the live chat. We will get to them if we can. I always say put a Q, because I can go up to the search and just hit Q and find all the questions just in case, so I don't miss anybody. Hey, Dahi, thanks, man. We appreciate it. Yes, John, they had great patience with Dusty and I as well. Snowed 2 hours ago, raining here now. Yeah, I think it's been raining here all day, and I think we've got some snow coming. Yes, Greg, the Ramjet, just as nice as the True Speed. Great controllers. I completely agree. Welcome to the hobby. Yep, plenty of fellow enthusiasts will offer help. Yeah, you will find that the knowledge share, James, is really impressive in this hobby. Guys want to see other guys succeed. I can't say that for every club or, store track out there, commercial tracks. But I think for the most part, you will run into some really great people that are very willing to help you just find a baseline tune for your car, make it run just a little bit better so it's a little easier to drive, help you with some speed secrets. That's the one thing. I raced RC cars for a little while. There's lots of speed secrets, and people don't really care to share back then. And that has not been the case. And I'm sure that there are other little things that people do to their cars that they don't tell everybody about. But for the most part, I mean, you've got guys like Rob and guys like Marco from Electric Dreams that have basically the race-winning car. They're opening it up and going through the tuning with people and putting it out on YouTube so that anybody and everybody can see this is exactly how they set the car up. Here's where they have the weight. Here's how much the car weighs. Here's some of the things that they did. They did independent front wheels. They're showing all the secrets, or they're showing most of what they can show in front of the camera, right? And like that is really helping people become better drivers. And I think what we're seeing, I mean, I'm just speaking for those who go to Cincy Slots. That's really the only club we have experience with. But what we're seeing is tighter racing. Guys are having way more fun when they're racing next to somebody who's actually getting better and is improving. I don't know, Steve, when I get beside Steve, I have this tendency to knock Steve out of the lane. But outside of that, like you're seeing tighter racing. The lap counts start compressing when you got, 6 or 8 guys finishing on the same lap. That's fun and exciting. Everybody's having a good time, so that it makes it easier to swallow when you finish last, but you know that you're like a half a lap. You could have passed 4 people, right? And so like, it's just encouraging. It just creates a fun atmosphere. Never afraid of a little bit of competition. But it becomes this, what we see is it becomes this big family, just like this live stream. And it just creates such a healthy environment for people. So when a beginner walks in, like at Cincy Slots, there is no way Daryl is going to let that person struggle. If his car that he brought, then I know that they want to run their own car. I want to run my own car. But sometimes they just don't know how to set it up yet for the track. Maybe it would help them to drive a car that's already set up and maybe give them, half a chance, right, to have some fun so that they don't get frustrated. Daryl is quick to say, hey, here's a car. Here you go. Put that on the track, run some laps, learn, and then we'll tell you like how to help you get your car there. And that's fun to watch. It's great to see. James, so here let's talk about that. There are different levels of cars, and you have home track cars, like beginner cars like Carrera and Scalextrics, and I wouldn't call them beginner cars, but they're really made for the home track. They run magnets, and then as you progress and you learn that there are other brands out there like NSR and Thunderslot and Slot It and Scale Auto. These cars don't usually run with magnets, and you've got to tune them to get them to perform a little better. And so there's all kinds of things you can do to a car. So yeah, that's a whole nother live stream. There's a ton of videos on my channel and a lot of other channels out there that talk about this. So yeah, go out and explore a little bit. You're new to the hobby, and that's going to be the fun part for you is all this research that you get to do to learn about what's going on. So yeah, that's, let's see here. Caveman, anyone here, Talladega, Alabama area, by me moving there? Caveman, I know that Jim Cunningham lives Arkansas, maybe. Sorry, not Alabama. Danny, Dick's Slot Car Garage, he is in Alabama. I don't know how close to Talladega. Is a good place to learn new things. WWSCC. Yeah, string tone. I'm not sure what's going on. It would be awesome if someone could send a link for a controller 3D model. Dusty, you should be able to post a link. You're the one that found that link. Yeah, okay, there he is. He's already on it. I'll have to find it again. Yeah, Mad P, we thought it was a brilliant idea. It looked a lot like a Scalextrics trigger controller that comes with their kits. But yeah. Is Blue Water Port Huron? That's a good question. I don't know. Sorry, Garth. I might try narrow tires on the front of my 124s. I kind of think of as Slot Car University. Yeah, that's Slot Journal. That's actually a good way to look at that. Yeah, so the WWSCC, if you don't know what that is, that's the worldwide slot car chat. Every week they do a live stream, one during the day, one in the evening. Greg Gabb is the one who puts that together. Lots of knowledge share. They talk about lots of different things on there. It's really, really good. Yep, I agree. Welcome to the wonderful world of slot cars. It's so much fun. And your wallet gets a little lighter, but it's like any hobby. You can control what you spend, but it gets addicting. Good stuff. So, but yeah, welcome, James. Good to have you. Agree with Slot Car Journal, worldwide slot car chat. Yep, Don Young. You're in Arkansas, not Alabama. Okay, so you were in Arkansas. Okay, sorry. I knew one of you were. Sorry, Danny. I messed that up. Yes, Port Huron. There you go. Marty, you have joined before. Don, I have not joined in the chat, like on the video. Most of the time it happens while I'm at work. And so I'll tune in on my lunch hour and watch a little bit of it and communicate in the live chat like you guys are with my live stream. but I've not had a chance to jump in with those guys. I don't really know any of them except for Garth. I've talked a little bit to Garth, and maybe Greg, a little bit, but not a whole lot. So I don't know many of those guys. Joe Rose, I do know of him and his channel, and Joe has been showing up the last couple of weeks here with this live stream, which has been kind of cool. He's got a great channel out in California. So Caveman, there is an HO group in Alabama. NASA, I believe it's called. Dave Parker is one of their main guys. While it gets empty. Yeah, it does. You're right, Danny. Home Racing World is another great resource, biased opinion. Yeah, I was getting there, John. So James, there's a website and a forum called Home Racing World. If you're on Facebook, it's the biggest slot car page out there. Lots of great information that gets posted on the Facebook page, but if you go to their forums, there's just archives of anything that you would want about slot car racing. Jim Rose. Let's see. Tomorrow at 7 Eastern. Thanks, Don. That might be one that I can make, the evening one. Some of us have no control on spending. I noticed that Daryl's gotten awfully quiet in this chat. Oh, this is great. Well, guys, we're at the hour and 20-minute mark. Actually, I came on a touch early. There it is. Dusty has it. Caveman, I will say that I had HO when I was a little kid. The 130 seconds, super addicting. Although when I see some of the videos of HO, those cars are so stinking fast. It's nuts. There's the link to the controller. Mad P, there's a link. A lot of us are not pros. Yeah, Don, I am definitely not a pro. I admit that quite regularly. I just really, when I jumped into the hobby, I jumped in with both feet. I actually jumped in like head first and haven't looked back. And it's been one of the best things. I've told the story a million times. My brother and I, we talk every day now. And we didn't used to do that. And that's on us. But the slot car track has really brought us back together. We have so much fun just together, just the two of us down here. We catch up, we get to talk about family, and really it's a special time. And so it's just a great hobby just to have a lot of fun. So, Daryl, sorry, you're in trouble a little bit. Hopefully you get out of that. John Albright is right. Coffee, our friends at Roast. If you like coffee, one of my channel sponsors is Roast Coffee. It's a local coffee roaster and coffee shop here in town that I'm good friends with the owner. He checks in every once in a while. And so he is, let's see, it's our friends at Roast. There we go. roastcoffee.com. And you get, if you use 2 lines in the coupon code, you can get 25% off your first purchase. And at Christmas time, he had $10 bags of coffee beans. And I know there was a lot of people that took advantage of that. So shout out to Trent. There we go. Thanks, Scott. I appreciate that. Guys, we're just going to sign off. I really appreciate you. Always something to learn in the hobby, no matter how long you've been in it. I would agree. I have learned a ton over the last year and a half, almost 2 years. Will be 2 years here in a few weeks since I jumped in and bought my starter set. But man, it's been great, and just had so much fun. Got to meet so many great new people through YouTube, through the club, through endurance racing at Butch's. People have reached out all over the world, and that's just what amazes me. I've really gained some great new friends, and it's just been special. So again, not to push my wares, but if you are interested in wear a medium, large, or extra large, maybe a couple 2Xs, and you want a 2 Lines t-shirt, send me an email that's in the chat, the T5guy@gmail.com, and I'll let you know if I've got your size, and we'll get you hooked up with a t-shirt. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Everybody have a great evening, and go have fun racing.